Break it down. How scientists separate mixtures. Contents. Most matter is mixed. You are all mixed up. It's not that you're confused. You are mixed up in another way. In fact, you are a mixture of thousands of different substances. You're not alone. Most matter is mixed. Almost everything in the world is a mixture of different substances. A substance is something that's made of only one kind of atom or molecule, such as gold or water. We don't often find substances on their own in nature because they are almost always part of a mixture. Think of milk. Milk may look like one substance, but it's not. Milk is a mixture. There's no such thing as a milk molecule. Milk is a mixture of water molecules, protein molecules, sugar molecules, fat molecules, and more. Apple juice is also a mixture of molecules, including water molecules, sugar molecules, and acid molecules. Paint, tears, and liquid soap are all mixtures too. Not all mixtures are liquids. Rocks, soil, bricks, and many other solids are mixtures. Even gases can be mixtures. The air on Earth is a mixture of oxygen and other gases. Scientists break mixtures down. People make some mixtures, such as paint and brick, but most mixtures are not made by people. Most mixtures are just naturally mixed together. Scientists often want to break these mixtures down into parts because breaking a mixture down can help scientists understand it better. When scientists break a mixture down, they can find out what substances are in the mixture. This can help scientists identify the mixture or figure out what it is. Breaking down a mixture can also make it more useful. Sometimes the scientist wants to use just one part of a mixture, so they separate the mixture into its parts to get the part they want. Mixtures can be hard to separate. Mixing two different colors of paint together is easy, but how can you separate the colors once they are mixed? This book looks at 3 mixtures and how scientists break each mixture down. Break it down to solve problems. Most of the water on Earth is in the ocean. Ocean water is a mixture of water and different kinds of salt, and it is much too salty for people to drink. In some parts of the world, there is very little water for drinking, but plenty of ocean water is available. Making salty ocean water safe to drink helps people in these places. However, the water must be separated from the rest of the mixture. Water and salt have different properties, things about matter that people can see, feel, smell, hear, taste, or measure. Differences in the properties of matter are caused by differences in the properties of the atoms and molecules that make up that matter. For example, water molecules are smaller than many other kinds of molecules. Scientists have figured out how to use this property of water molecules to separate pure water from the salty ocean water mixture. Ocean water is pumped through pipes and then pushed through a filter with holes in it that are much too small to see. The tiny water molecules in the ocean water mixture are small enough to pass through the filter, but the atoms that make the water salty remain trapped. Only pure water comes out on the other side of the filter, and this water is safe for people to drink. Break it down to save lives. Blood is a mixture, and different parts of blood do different things. Some parts of blood help fight off sickness, while other parts help make scabs so that cuts stop bleeding. Plasma is the liquid part of blood. It lets blood flow through the body, and it has important proteins that help keep the body healthy. Sometimes a person who is sick or hurt needs extra plasma, which comes from blood that people have given to others to help others. To get the plasma from the blood that people have given, scientists must separate it from the other parts of the blood. Scientists use the properties of different parts of blood to separate the mixture. Plasma has the property of being liquid at room temperature, while the other parts of blood are solid at room temperature. To separate blood, scientists use a machine called a centrifuge. A centrifuge separates the parts of blood by spinning the blood very fast. The centrifuge holds tubes of blood that are arranged in a circle. The centrifuge spins around fast, and this spinning separates the solid parts of the blood from the plasma. The solid parts end up farther from the center of the centrifuge, while the liquid plasma ends up closer to the center. The separated plasma can be used to help people who are sick or hurt. Separating mixtures can save lives. Break it down to uncover the past. Breaking down a mixture can help scientists identify it. Scientists found ancient pots buried deep underground. Inside the pots was a brown mixture which scientists thought might be food left over from a great feast in ancient times. They wanted to identify the mixture to learn about the foods people ate more than 2,700 years ago. The scientists could not use sight and smell to identify the mixture because the mixture was very old and it no longer looked and smelled the way it had when it was fresh. The scientists needed other kinds of evidence. They decided to find out what molecules the mixture was made of using something called gas chromatography. Like a centrifuge, gas chromatography uses the properties of different parts of a mixture to separate the mixture. Gas chromatography can separate the substances in a mixture by the size of their molecules. This is how gas chromatography works. Scientists take a little bit of solid or liquid mixture and heat it until it boils, making the mixture turn to gas. The gas mixture is made up of molecules of different sizes. Scientists send this gas mixture through a tube of gel. Smaller molecules travel through the gel faster, and bigger molecules travel more slowly. Each kind of molecule will come out of the tube at a different time depending on how fast it travels. This lets scientists study the molecules separately and identify each kind of molecule that was in the mixture. Identifying the molecules gives scientists lots of evidence to help them explain what a mixture is. Using gas chromatography, scientists found evidence that the brown mixture had been a rich stew. They were able to identify molecules that matched different foods. Their evidence showed that the stew was made of a roasted goat meat, lentils, honey, wine, and olive oil. People threw a party for the scientists. Based on what the scientists had found out, a cook made a meal like the ancient feasts using all the foods the scientists had identified. The properties of substances in a mixture are the keys to breaking it down. For example, scientists can often separate solids or liquids from gases because of differences in their properties. Those differences in properties are caused by the properties of the atoms and molecules that make up the substances. Molecular properties can also be used to separate substances from a mixture. For example, sometimes scientists can separate out a substance by the size or shape of its molecules. There are many other properties scientists can use to separate a mixture. Mixtures are all around us. Scientists study mixtures in living things, in outer space, and deep underground. To understand and use a mixture, scientists often have to break it down. Breaking it down can be hard, but also very important. Air is a mixture of gases. At the top of this page are models of different kinds of molecules that are found in air. The two molecules at the bottom of this page are kinds of air pollution, which is bad for living things. If you were a scientist trying to separate pollution molecules from the air, how might you do it? Can you think of properties you might use to separate the different substances in the air? Glossary.